In the last 2 decades, Chelsea have been blessed in the area of defensive midfielders. Seriously, Chelsea has been blessed with world-class defensive midfielders. Having a defensive midfielder for the past 2 decades have never been a problem to us. Seriously. Okay, now let's look at our defensive midfield for the last 2 decades. Let's start with the OG himself, Claude Makaleli. This guy didn't just play defensive midfield. He literally invented the Makalele role. Very calm, intelligent. He was unbeatable when it comes to positioning. His reading of the game, his ability to shield the defensive line, and his calmness under pressure, turned Chelsea into a team nobody want to play against. This guy was good, bro. Makadele was like, Wi-Fi before Wi-Fi existed. Sometimes you may not see his work, but you can always feel the connection. He made the game look so simple. He breaks it up, pass it, his passes clean, protect the back four. This guy was a baller, a real baller. After Makalele, we signed Essien in 2005 from Lyon. He was a then record fee for Chelsea. This guy was a powerhouse. He could tackle, he had the pace, so he could literally move forward, and God, his screamer goals. He was a defensive midfielder that know how to score. I still remember that 30-yard thunderbolt goal at Stamford Bridge against Arsenal. I think it was James Lehmann that was Arsenal goalkeeper then. And that rocket Champions League goal versus Barcelona in 2009 semi-final of the Champions League. Hi! That goal was something else. But seriously, till today, that match still pains me anytime I remember it. Because we could have qualified to make it to the final. And to us, it would have been a back-to-back Champions League final. 2008, we played against United, and it would have been another final. Probably that would have been our first Champions League trophy. Essien gave Chelsea both grit and dynamism. He brought this flair into Chelsea. And one of the things I loved about Michael Essien was his versatility. He could play as a DM, he could play as a central midfielder, and he can even play at right back. Sometimes Mourinho used him at right back. He was such a complete midfielder. Michael Essien, of course, he made 168 Premier League appearance for Chelsea, scored around 17 goals, won two Premier League, won 4 FA Cup, and of course a Champions League in 2012. If not for injury, you can measure Michael Essien with the likes of Yaya Toure when you are talking about African best midfielders. All right. After Michael Essien, we had a very, very calm general. A very, very, very calm general. This guy is one of the most underrated Chelsea midfielder of all time. Very, very underrated. Very, very underrated. I'm talking about no other person than John Mikel Obi. Seriously, there's something that Mikel Obi brings into the game. He was a very, very reliable Chelsea defensive midfielder. He turns up when you need him. He was like, that old Nokia 3310. He didn't get all the flashy headlines and all that, but he was unbreakable. He was reliable. Always there. Mikel was always there when you need him. And a lot of people may have a lot of negative comments about him, but we Chelsea fans that watch him closely, we knew his worth. We saw his tackles, his interception, his calm pressing under pressure was just natural to him. Mikel Obi was just there. He played around 370 games for Chelsea across 10 or 11 years. And when it mattered most, he stepped up. I mean, 2012 Champions League final in Munich. Mikel was immense. He was everywhere. He was calm, composed, unshakable. See, if not for how the goals the Drogba scored and all that, Mikel was the man of the match for me. That night alone sealed John Mikel Obi legacy as one of the best Chelsea midfield of all time. I'm seriously. How do we have won that Champions League without Mikel in the midfield? Wow. All right, after Mikel Obi came the engine himself. Talking about N'Golo Kante in 2016. This guy, hey, N'Golo Kante. No, this guy was like having Mack truck engine in a Toyota Corolla. He was a big, small body, big engine. He was everywhere. The truth is, if Makalele invented the role, Essien powered that role. Mikel Obi steadied that role. But N'Golo Kante, he redefined that role. He redefined what midfield as a midfielder should do. I remember in 2017 under Antonio Conte, Mikel Obi was just N'Golo Kante was just everywhere. Remember that year he won the PFA Player of the Year award. Award that is very rare for a defensive midfielder. Kante, having Kante on the pitch, he was like having two players in one. With N'Golo Kante, it was as if Chelsea, placed 11 men on the pitch. God, he had the stamina, his interception, his recovery were insane. He plays as if he has 4 lungs. Endless energy, and in 2021 Champions League runs. Hey! Man of the match in both semi-finals against Real Madrid. He muzzled the midfield. He hijacked the midfield from Real Madrid. And that final against Man City. Hi! I can remember Pep Guardiola in one of his speech. He said, Kante was everywhere. That we can only be in business if we can pass it. And there was no way they would have passed it. That guy didn't just play midfield. He owned it. See, I just believe that if N'Golo Kante wasn't a footballer, maybe he would be running somewhere in the Olympics, winning medals. That man covered the whole pitch by himself. He was that good. He played over 220 games for Chelsea, and of course, N'Golo Kante won everything with Chelsea. He was Chelsea heartbeat. That guy was good. I personally love him. See, honestly, when he talk about the best midfielder, he's in that conversation for Chelsea best midfielder ever. He is not just a DM. He is a complete midfielder. I loved that guy. And of course, every Chelsea fans love that guy. But, all right, currently on the spotlight is Moise Caicedo. Hi! This Caicedo is like, sometimes I see him as an hybrid of all these great DM that have played for Chelsea. He has this Makalele positioning, Michael Essien's power, Mikel's composure, and does he have Kante's edge? Well, let's just see. Time will tell. But seriously, this guy is sharp with tackle, very, very fearless on the ball. He knows how to dispossess. He knows how to dispossess opponents. This guy is just 21, so he has a lot of time to show forth himself. So from Makalele to Essien, from Mikel to Kante, and now to Caicedo, 2 decades, we've had a perfect DM. Filled with strength, discipline, control. Seriously, when it comes to the area of defensive midfield, Chelsea has a legacy. We might have had player flop in other positions, but in the defensive midfield, when it comes to DM, no club in the Premier League has it like Chelsea. God has really blessed Chelsea when it comes to defensive midfield.